passively regenerating it in the background. So now granted, I know that this kind of works out at times to be maybe 2 or 3 additional energy, but I'm telling you, this stuff adds up. Eventually, that could be multiple additional runs of giants that you're saving right there. And all it is just not tapping now, but tapping it later. So it's definitely worth the patience if you can spare it. This is kind of a free late game tip, but it also works for early mid game. I know that for the audience that I'm directing this video towards, 6-starring a unit can seem like a pretty big task, but there will eventually come a day where 6-starring a monster is really easy, and you get 200 energy every single time you do it. So later on, when you have a lot of resources, you can legitimately just 6-star something and then get an energy payout along with having a new toy to play with. Also, unknown scrolls are way more important than they seem. Summoning hundreds of these at a time will give you tons of power up materials so that way you can make those 6 stars we're talking about. And I am getting so many notifications. Oh my god, my phone and my laptop are blowing up right now. I gotta leave some group chats. I guess the only other thing that I have to say about that is that summoning those hundreds of monsters from the unknown scrolls gives you easy power-up material to level up your monsters, and it'll also help awaken monsters so you can 6-star them faster. Number 5, craft your 3 reapps and 2 ancient reappraisal stones weekly. Even if you don't know what they are, just craft them. But I am going to tell you what they are. Reappraisal stones and ancient reappraisal stones, respectively, will re-roll the substats that are underneath your runes. So you're going to want to save these for your legendary runes that have the highest potential rolls in those substats. Like, let's say you got a legendary rune with like flat attack, flat HP, flat defense, and resistance. That sounds awful. And it's on a crit damage violent rune. That's crazy. So rather than going and finding another legendary crit damage violent rune and hoping for different substats, you can just reappraise the rune and it'll pop out. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Summoner's War. My name is Come to Us Evan, and today we are doing some account reviews and progression tips. What's up, Yuri NT? What's up, Ben Clashin? Ben Clashin came in, was like, trash event, do better. All right, I'm out. Have a good stream, Evan. Thanks, Ben Clashin. I appreciate. Ben Clashin has really given me like a, you know, a little bit of negative, a little bit of positive, you know, left on a good note. Appreciate you for that, dude. What's up, Fastlix? Senior Penguin King, welcome. Senior Penguin King said, I'm only here to complain. Is that the only reason you're here, Senior Penguin King? Well, no matter what, if you're only here to complain, I'm glad to give you a forum to do that. I'm happy to listen. So guys, actually, that's a great segue. So let me give you the little intro for account reviews, right? So if you haven't been to a stream like this, we do them pretty frequently. Account Reviews and Progression Tips is a place where I hang out in Chat Channel 10 and I answer your questions. If you're having trouble progressing through Summoner's War, if you're new to the game or you just have like an account review you want me to look at, something like that, you just let me know what question you have in Chat Channel 10. I'm on the global server, but I did promise to start on Europe last time, so we can move over to Europe if we're so choosing. But at the same time, guys, there's a lot of talk in the community right now. I had a stream with Why Cause I'm a G last Friday too, and we spent about probably 30 to 40 minutes talking about the last of the 10x10 events that came out. So if you guys want to like kind of rewatch that VOD, you can. If you might want to have a new discussion, we can do that today too. But you guys let me know. Hey, honestly, we can have it be at your pace today. If you guys want to talk, we can talk. If you guys want to do account reviews, we can do account reviews. Oh, Fastlix got a new LD4. What's up? Farragon, how are you? Dude, Fastlix's account is always so sick. Thank you, Lando. That's really nice. Yeah, a part of the silent group. Event is sad, but still enjoy the game and your content. I'm really glad to hear that, Commando. Thank you for that. That's awesome. But yeah, we can chat, you know, if you guys are so choosing to. Genie, what's going on, dude? I'm doing okay this morning. Feeling a little off. I don't know what's going on. My tummy's a little rumbly today. I don't know what that's about, but you know, I had a lot of veggies yesterday. That's supposed to do the opposite for me, but that's probably not what you were asking. So, Jebnis, what's up, dude? Need help with arena defense and offense on EU, says 6 Mil Dog. 6 Mil Dog has been waiting like a century for me to go to EU, so I should probably start over there. Shanks, want to review mine? You reviewed me a month ago, so I kind of want to know your opinion now. I remember my fellow One Piece fans. You know, if I see a Shanks reference, then I'm happy about it. TOA normal, TOA hard is all done. We're at 2 minutes as the best time in Giants Keep, so I think maybe that would probably be the next place where you'd want to push your account. You probably want to make it so that you're speeding through this a little faster. And I think a really easy change that you can make is just remove the Lucian and remove one of either Fran or Lauren. You don't even have to remove both. I do sometimes suggest removing both and instead going for like 2 single hitting monsters instead. Like you could do Bella Dion and Shannon. Those are usually the starter guide ones that I recommend to people just because they don't rack up the hits on that counterattack as much as Fran and Lauren do because they both hit 3 times on skill 1. You can keep Crow. He does technically, team up is technically a multi-hit, but it's like, you know, it's kind of random what he ends up pulling with him and you can kind of mitigate all of that. Let me just catch up with chat real quick. Hero, Pokeball. No, you know, I didn't need anything like really weird yesterday, but like, I don't know what's going on. I see Rare Damage says, hello, may you review my account and see overall what I could improve on, please? Yeah, absolutely, dude. Draconic, I wouldn't mind showing my account monsters and stuff, but I am trying to get into RTA right now. Oh, that's cool. I love that. I love helping people get into RTA, or at least just like looking around and seeing what's possible. I like living vicariously through people's accounts because I realize that folks out there have much more like exotic monster boxes than I have, or you know, so it's kind of cool thinking about like what you can do with your monsters. Thank you, Vivina, I appreciate it. And yeah, Sean, we can do that too. So Shanks, I would suggest maybe pushing to kind of speed up your Giants and your Dragons team a little bit, just because I think maybe also removing Lucian will kind of add to the consistency a little bit too. I really like your Dragons team, to be honest. I actually like that a lot. The only thing is I think it's lacking a little bit of damage. If you really like the two-way Rauk, you can keep him and remove the Spectra and put in like Crow instead if you're so inclined. I'm running that, and I was running that, and I actually think it's a little bit more fun / faster than like the standard starter team because Rauk really helps you get through the waves. Because like him doing the additional team up means your skills are always online. He might chain kills with the Annihilate passive, etc. Always told not build Trickaroo. People never listen. Now they stuck in loop of doing V10. Well, Mail, I think, you know, Trickaroo's like prime is obviously kind of in the past. It's in the rear view window, right? But like I actually think that Trickaroo still has some validity in certain content pieces. Like you can still use it in like Tartarus Labyrinth, the non-bosses, right? You know, you can use it in like those floors. I'm doing okay, Storm Titan. Thank you for asking. And also Xylus, thank you, says, have a good stream. I appreciate you, dude. So Shanks, that's probably what I would recommend. Just make a couple of those changes, and I think you should see some more speed on there. Can you review my Necro? I'm currently trying Aster, Shaman, Rogue, Saren, and Abigail. So Abigail lead. We got 2 team ups here with Rauk and Saren. Got Shaman and Aster. RNGesus, if you're running that as your primary comp, oh, there we go. Look at that. I was going to say this. Honestly, you're either killing the boss really, really fast, or the boss is hanging on to one of your counterattack, or I'm sorry, hanging on to one of your team up units like Rauk, and you're getting punished for running team ups. So I think this is great. 45 seconds is fantastic, dude. Is it just EU right now? No, but I can go over to EU in a second. In fact, I plan on it because I promised I would last time. Heavenly Monkey, either is fine. Either's fine. Avestra, what's going on, dude? How about Double Melia? Unfortunately, the time for Double Melia is also past. The Abyss bosses are immune to dots. So it's like you'll have incidental dots, right? Like from Veramos' skill 1 or something like that. But because the boss is immune, it means that dot teams are no longer viable in Kairos. They are still viable in, say, like the 10s or also in TOA, Tartarus, like all those PvE areas. Channel 10, Draconic Rebel. I could use a little advice on Punishers and Tormentor. Any monster recommendations are welcome. Dude, honestly, oh, congrats on the, I see you got a couple of the new Nat 5s. Congratulations. And you have a Vivachill. What the heck? This looks great. Well, maybe it's that it isn't super consistent. You may want one more source of buff block for Steel Fortress. And then with Punishers, honestly, dude, with Punishers, it can be a little bit trying, right? You might want to go for like the towers or something. I know that's a little bit disheartening to hear, but at the same time, you know, at the same time, what that ends up doing is like it makes it a little bit more consistent. Trying to get into arena push, but I'm not 100% sure how to go about it. Yeah, sure, we can talk about that. Yeah, exactly. Male Zach said, because Come To Us didn't keep the promise to make abyss boss conditions change every half year. Actually, chat, like, what do you guys think about that? How was your reception to like the idea of like seasonal boss environments? Because to me, I think that it's a novel idea. Well, maybe what I should do is I should let chat respond first. I'll give chat like a minute or two to respond first, and then I'll say my piece on that. Because I have a thought, but I don't want to accidentally influence anybody's opinion. I could use some help on ruins of just pulled Lagmaron and Bale. Oh, heck yeah, dude, congrats. Lagmaron is used on like, lag can actually be used on cleave teams in RTA if you're so inclined. If you've got fast runes and he auto crits on skill 2, love that. He could be used on like CC cleave teams, or you can also bring him as like a damage dealer in dungeons, technically speaking. Okay, let me see what people are saying. It's hard enough to build teams as it is. I didn't like the idea of changing PvE. Periodically, are we going to see a Spire reset in the future? We can talk about that later. So yeah, that's more or less what my opinion on it is. Very novel idea, but it's already kind of demanding asking people to rune their monsters and come up with a coherent team, work it out, and then action on it, right? So imagine you're like chasing a speed team or something like that for like half a year or quarterly or however much, right? And then all of a sudden the rules change. And now it's like, you get maybe a month of farming, maybe a couple weeks of farming out of it, and then it's just taken away from you. It's not a great feeling. And I find that, and feel free to correct me on this too, but I'll speak for myself, as a Summoners War player, what I want most is consistency with my teams. I don't necessarily want something where I need to like find a new team all the time for a content that I should be doing reliably, right? I don't need to find a new team for Giants all the time. I'd like to upgrade and iterate on my team over time and make it better, but I don't want to find a whole new team all the time. So I think it's kind of one of those things. It's a delicate balance. There's a slight difference there, but I think they kind of tapped into that and they were like, I don't know if this is going to be as big of a hit as it seems. It might actually just add stress to players instead. Oh, exactly. Potato of Doom just kind of summed up exactly what I just said. That's great. Potato of Doom, excuse me. Anoop Liar says, I like that it would keep it fresh as long as it means we don't have to make a completely new team. Maybe 1 or 2 unit changes would be great. See, something like that I would almost like in a different area of the game. Like imagine in like arena, not RTA, but like regular arena, where like a certain type of unit was not allowed. Like maybe there's no bombs or there's no ignore defense, right? There's no ignore defense this season, something like that. Stuff like that. I'm just spitballing ideas. But things like that kind of excite me, right? But what if they did? This is a crazy idea, but what if they did? Oh, James, I think it accidentally sent before he was ready. Evan, do you think it's possible to get arena runes, different dungeon runes? I know we have RTA runes, but it's hard to get a good arena defense with all my good runes on dungeon teams, RTA comps. I wouldn't say that it's impossible, especially considering that they started doing that for like, guilds at RTA. So I don't think that's an impossibility. Whoa. I have the LDs Light Monkey, Lima, Pater, Grog and Sean. How can I use them in RTA, and which dungeon should I farm based on the LDs? I'm farming dragons so much, but I think I need to switch. Dude, if you have those, right, like a lot of the monsters you just listed are gonna be on violent, though I do think you might also like want to integrate a little bit of will onto your comp too. So you should probably you should either do necro or find ways to maybe craft some will runes, something like that. But you want to make sure that you're probably differentiating into that. And then let me see, is there anything in there? Sean could also go for like Swift. I feel like you should farm with intention, but like, you need a foundation of say like Swift runes. Sounds like you've got violent runes too. And you want to keep in mind stats, right? These monsters kind of require actually a few of them require the same thing. Like the Light Monkey, Kitian Desheng, requires accuracy as well as tank, right? He's not a damage dealer. You don't necessarily need to worry about that, but he really wants to be on violent and he really wants 100% accuracy. Like, forget about like, 85, whatever, aim for 100 and see where you can. If you can get high accuracy and high resistance on your monkey, you'll be good. Arena needs some work. It would be nice for that. The Dark Lich. I'm not a huge fan of the Dark Lich, if I'm being totally honest, Fastlix, but I have seen him, I've seen him used very nichely. Let me come back in here real quick because I realize I've been reading chat for a long time now, guys. Also, I wanted to thank everybody for coming by today and watching and having fun and talking, you know? I know there's been a lot of like talk in the community, a lot of really good memes right now too, but I really appreciate that we can come here and just enjoy some account reviews and talk and be civil and stuff. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciated it on Friday as well, guys. But with that in mind, if you guys do want to talk about the event or like air any concerns or something like that, you can absolutely tell me. And by the way, you should know that that I, as well as the rest of the office, are sending all that feedback forward. So just know, because I saw comments on the last videos or on the last live stream basically saying like, please let us know that like they're hearing our complaints, and they very much are. Okay. Just a quick question. Is it worth it to farm EXP for monsters? I've 6-starred so many since I've got back to the game, but it feels wrong to farm EXP for a week so all are over 40. Honestly, with the way that they revamped the power-up circle back during the big update of 2023, back when they changed that, I think people farm for experience maybe a little bit less. I mostly just power up in bulk. I don't know. And folks, how do you level up your monsters nowadays? Do you just throw in monsters? Do you summon unknown scrolls and then throw in fodder? How do you like to do it? Or do you go the old-fashioned route and you just kind of run Famon a bunch? Dante says, why has Come to Us so quiet about the event drama? Dante, so to that, I think I might reference what Seishizo said, because actually Seishizo made a video that was kind of recent, and I think he touched on something that I've brought up a couple times on stream, which is that like back in the day in around 2018, I think it was 2018, around the time when they were foreshadowing the Dimension Hole as well as Jean and the support homunculus, they revealed like a timeline, and when it didn't end up matching the timeline, there was a big backlash and they kind of got burned for it. And ever since then, they've kind of like played things a little close to the vest. You know what I mean? So typically they err on the side of that. And if we're being totally honest, I will say this about that, is that technically speaking with the event, they didn't promise anything, right? There were no promises made by Come to Us. There's a lot of expectations. There were a lot of expectations, but technically speaking, they didn't actually like say, this is what we're gonna do and under-deliver. They just said, they said nothing. They just said there was going to be one. I agree with that, Rare Damage. I don't like that the rewards are time gated. I can totally sympathize with that. Actually, I think that is one of the, oh, I don't want to lose this comment. Hold on one second. Betulio says, could we ever see some big changes to guild content for smaller guilds and mostly inactive guilds? For example, the cooldown for leaving a group being removed for guilds with a lot of inactives. You know, I don't know if removing the cooldown is necessarily the answer, but there will likely be, you know, it's like, guilds is a very key part of the Summoners War gameplay experience, and I know that it's something that, like, you know, I talk about a lot with people in the office, and like the devs think about a lot. So let me catch up here real quick. Sorry guys, I'm getting a little sidetracked. Did I finish my thought earlier, or did I? Listen to me. Oh, what's up, Jug? How's it going, dude? Says I'm here to complain. You're killing me, Jug. Just teasing. Yeah, I agree though. Oh, that was the thing. I agree with the time gating thing. I think that maybe it should open up. View me. Evil's Eyes. Hey, what's up? Review, give me a review. Let me know what I can improve on. I don't RTA really. So question to that, Evil's Eyes. Do you not RTA just because you don't enjoy it, or do you just not RTA yet? You know what I mean? Looks like you've made it to C1. That is not like not a small amount of trying, to be honest. The barrier between F3 and C1 is very real. What's going on, Joshua? What's up, guys? Hope everybody's having a good week and isn't bad about the 10x10, says Jug. Jug, actually, no, it's been incredibly nice, actually. You know, it's been very, very peaceful, to be honest, today. You know, it's been great. We've just been doing account reviews and just kind of chatting. It's been very nice. Dang, dude, you are making some insane progress right now, Evil's Eyes. You don't, so I'm curious if you would be interested in going into RTA, like pushing further. You've already gotten C1. I don't see why not. I mean, I think that you should keep going, but oh, I just realized I can't see monsters that are in storage. I think you should maybe push, dude. Let me just look at your profile, like just based on what you've got in your profile here. So it looks like you've got good cleave options. Is that a Lima front and center? Dude, your first 3 picks could be the 3 oracles and a Veligil. I'm just teasing. But unfortunately, I can't see everything you got if it's in storage, but Egan says, yeah, that was definitely a factor. Oh, Draconic says, if you want to check my monsters, you can. Draconic said that they were open to sharing their monsters. Account was created 900 days ago. They're already a sub 1 minute giants. Look, let's just go in and take a peek real quick, and then I think I might jump over to EU. I'll come back to global afterwards, but I did promise to start earlier on EU last time, so I think I'm going to do that. Try Oracle new meta. Dude, honestly, like, Oracles are one of the families in the game where if you just pick 5 Oracles, that's a complete team. You have a complete team. You have sustain, you have damage, you have turn cycling, you have like everything that you need. Crowd control, like it's crazy. That's one of the few families in the game where you can do that. I would say like, what's another one you could do that with? I think Occult Girls is kind of similar. You could just pick 5 Occult Girls and have a very complete team. Like you'd have strip, you'd have damage, you'd have cleanse and healing, like everything. Defense break, like crowd control. Not a lot of families in the game can say that, but those 2 definitely can. You have some really cool monsters over here. Actually, like some that could be used for RTA if you like RTA. Got Master back here. Layla. Oh, I got this one. Gron. I just got Gron today, actually. I got 2 Grons today. How in the world can I beat Trial of Ascension floor 90? Hold on, let me go look. Draconic, I like your monsters. Thank you for showing those. Floor 90 of TOA? Are you at floor 90 hard? Wait, who's? This one is really just if it's floor 90. Wait, hold on. There's something in the waves for this one, right? Or no? No, I don't think there's anything weird. You can actually use this team right here. Like legitimately, this team will do it. Alternatively, you could swap out, like Eren Yeager, like Eren Yeager suggested, you could swap out Veramos for Crow if you're so inclined. But I like Veramos just because he's another, I don't know what's going on with me today, guys, sorry. You could also like, he's another source of crowd control. That's why I really value Veramos. The max HP damage scaling, amazing for the bosses, but he can also lock down all the other units. You could use Spectra. Spectra would do it too. I think you could do either. What's up, Dudano? Great timing, dude. I'm about to go over to Europe real quick. So let me just bounce over there. And then after this, I'll come back. Oh, and guys, real quick, let me just post the survey in chat too. I just posted the survey on YouTube chat. If you're so inclined, if you're on Twitch, you can do command new survey. Okay, chat channel 10 if you're on EU, and then after a few minutes, I'll go back over to global. What are good monsters for Dragons, Bee, and Lich 11 and 12? So Forest, the best monster for Dragons, obviously Verd, right? And Veramos. Veramos is insane for Dragons right now. I use him in my starter team. I also use him in like my faster farming team. He's just like always there. If you're talking about the Lich teams for Necro, I think Abigail is probably like the best, at least to me. Abigail, who is the Water Cannon Girl, Aster, who's the Fire Magic Knight. You can also use Shaman, who's he's the Light Griffin, and then team up effects are also incredibly valuable there, like Rauk and Ikaru, who are the Water and Fire Inugamis. 6 mil dog, okay, 6 mil dog. Also the first in the chat today, by the way. 6 mil dog was genuinely the first one here. What is your question? What can I do for you? And so Michael Furr says current event trash. So for Michael, and also for people, for anybody who might want to talk about that too, I want to direct you to a couple videos, a VOD, and also, you know, if you want to have an open conversation about it today, we can. But Sean B put out a really good video today about it as well, and I think he actually gives a very balanced opinion on the whole situation. I think Say Shizo had some really good actionable feedback on some stuff too. And then if you want to check out the VOD from last Friday live stream, Pat Y Cause I'm a G and I ended up talking about it for probably about like 30 or 40 minutes. We were gonna play RTA, but we ended up just kind of talking. Did 6 Mil Dog say what they needed, by the way, 6 Mil Dog? What do you need, dude? I got you. I got you, whatever you need. I'll just kind of browse around for the time being and see what's going on. Oh, you commented in chat 10? Let me see. Arena defense and offense. Went ahead and moved out all nat 5s of storage. Ah, amazing. Okay. Oh, you got the Jaeger too. I forgot about that. This is great. Maybe the Riley could change. I'm not sure. Like if we swap. So chat, would you hit this defense? I probably would. I probably would if I'm being honest, but just because I'm kind of bold. I think there should be something to kind of prevent death in that last slot. So I like this. The only two parts of it that I'm not super sold on are maybe the Veligil and the Riley. But I think we'll adjust that. 6 Mil Dog says, I would too. Honestly, I would. He's like, super unbiased opinion. Yeah, I'd hit it. I'd hit it too. And that's the problem. You could do like a Triana or something like that. I think that there's some validity there. You could also do a Bellio. Strictly speaking, I prefer Triana if you had to choose between one. Now, or you could do a Bellio Triana and just be like super annoying about it. Like I feel like that'd be the most annoying possibility. I think that's like, without even like looking through most of the monster box, I think you try 2 iterations of this team right away, 6 Mil Dog. I think you do a genuine test on a Bellio and Triana, replacing Veligil and Riley, and just being super annoying, right? Like that's a very obnoxious comp. Like Carnal Camilla, a Bellio Riley, or I'm sorry, a Bellio Triana. I'm already misspeaking. And then the other one would be to do either a Bellio or Triana with Leica. That's the other one. So I would try those 2 iterations. So yeah, a Bellio and Triana taking the place of Veligil and Riley. Now, as far as your arena offense goes, offense is generally, like, I like to recommend people use the Cocky Cleave, because that was recommended to me by Seppi a long time ago, and it's kind of changed my life, to be honest. Like, it's so fun, it's satisfying, it's easy, but I don't know if you have a Tiana. If you don't have Tiana, you can find a different strip option instead. Oh, you also have Pungbake, so if you're so inclined, you could do like a Pungbake Cleave. You should have a dot team as well, probably too. Yeah, you want to make sure that you also have like a dot team in addition, because dots will sometimes just win a game, 6 Mil Dog. I mean, help on runes for my dungeon team and arena offense. Koya, wow, what a profile. I mean, if that's working, I've never seen someone integrate a Narsha so easily into these 2 comps. Look at that, that's crazy. I have a Bellio on guard runes. Is it okay, or am I making a mistake, says James. If guard is an offset, technically it's okay. Technically speaking, it's okay. I think his main set should probably be violent. And I do think that there are slightly better options. And I use the word slightly, but I would say they are actually better options for a Bellio on the offset. So I would do Violent as the main, right? And then I would probably do either Will or Nemesis instead. I think Nemesis is probably even more important on him because, you know, people might try to do some damage to him and instead he'll gain attack bar. Nemesis is cool, but he does have built-in attack bar gain into his passive now that I think about it too. So think about Nemesis, think about Will, and then Guard is like a good third choice, I would say. And we're reviewing the runes here. This Necro Abyss, though, the Necro Abyss. I'm not super sold on twins all the time on Necro anymore. Oh my god, this is actually a really nice little courtyard. This reminds me of like Hyrule Castletown, actually. This is really cute. I don't know why, I really like this. I actually have not seen something like this before. It's just like the tiled floors. This is actually this is a nice little thing. Gregory Petit says, hello Evan, somebody mentioned the free-to-play drought in energy. Is it crazy to ask for the removal of energy in story mode to allow players a loop to farm energy, XP, and keep energy for runes and grinds? The only thing to keep in mind there, Gregory, is that like I think I'd need to have a better understanding of what area of the game we're talking about, because if it's very early on, new players actually have like I guess there's a weird middle period, right? Like there's kind of like a drop off, right? You know, if you're looking at kind of like a parabola, right? In the beginning, players actually have almost a surplus of energy because of all the level ups, right? Because you're leveling up so quickly, and each level increases your cap and also refreshes your energy. So it's like, you know, in the very beginning, but once you hit level 100, maybe that's what you mean, like right around the time where you like, or I guess when levels slow down. I shouldn't say level 100, I should say like 50. I should say like because they really do slow down around 50 actually. The short answer is I haven't heard that conversation being had. I have not heard a conversation of like, let's remove energy from this or anything like that. So I can't make any promises about that, but I will say that sometimes they'll try to like kind of find a new way to give people energy, you know, like, or maybe what we could do is something that I could see being explored is making the social point energy more valuable. It's like, how much are we getting? We're getting 20 energy per 500 social points. It's like, maybe we bump that up or something. Are we in a state of the game where perhaps we could make that more valuable? Like that's a conversation that I think would be really good to have. So looking through here, sorry, I got distracted by the sheer beauty of your island here. I was going to look at the twins. Oh my God, you got Ian. Man, you have some, bro, you've got some LDs. You got some LDs back here, dog. Kovarchi. That's crazy. Look at that. Got some good units back here. Holy heavens to Betsy. Martian Empire, you gotta do LD5. Oh my God, who was it? Who was it? Wait, LD5 in chat? Okay, let me see what's up. I actually don't see them. So if I might recommend drifting away from at least one of the twins, you know, maybe go for like an Ergar lead instead. Go like Ergar for the 38% lead in dungeons. Go Aster. Go Second Awakened Raok. Go Crow. Something like that, and Lauren. Or you could also, if you have a Shaman, which there definitely should be a Shaman, should try to find a Shaman as soon as humanly possible. Has anybody ever used it? Guys, wait, does this go through the Necro Shield? This might, excuse me if this is like a stupid question, but like, I've never even given Talisman a thought in PvE environments. But does this go through? It is so technically speaking, whenever something says ignores damage reduction effects, what it means is buffs. It specifically refers to like buffs, right? And you can leverage a unit like this in the Dimension Predator, but I don't know about, or I suppose it's called the Dimensional Raid now. But does this go through the shield? One Young New says, I doubt it. And I kind of doubt it too, to be honest, because it's got that clause of you need to hit it 7 times. It's like, it's not a normal shield, it's like you just need to hit it 7 times. And sometimes Summoner's War can be a little bit like explicit in its wording, kind of like MTG. So I would like to see if that actually works, but unfortunately I think you may need to be a guinea pig for that, because I don't have the necessary qualifications to see if it can do it. I don't have a talisman. Oh my God, you got Manananan. Wait, no dude, we're actually in an era of the game. I low-key, chat, this is not cap. This is not, I actually want a Manananan. I think it was SW Battle. I referenced this a couple weeks ago. SW Battle showed off like some replays from a guy who was using a Manananan cleave in RTA. And it looked so fun. I'm talking like,
it was Manananan and like team ups. It was team ups. It was literally like my favorite mechanic in the game. And it looked so fun. Also, he, dude, I actually think he's kind of cool. The Bay and Manananan gonna make a comeback. Also, it applies a dot for 1 turn, so you could use it in TOA. I know that this is crazy, but Atharva Devas said trash event. Wait. Atharva, let's calm down for a second. I'm gonna put you in like a 10-minute timeout for the spam. Just hold on 1 second. Atharva, so you're hopefully still here. So Atharva was spamming, so I just timed him out, but he was spamming trash event. So let's talk about that for a second. If you want to talk about the event, we can talk about the event. I've kind of given some opportunities, but there are some resources out there where we've already had the conversation. So it's like on the VOD from Friday with me and Pat, why? Because I'm a G. We talked about it for like 40 minutes, and I think we ended up having a really good conversation with the chat. It's like how to improve it, why people are disappointed, why expectations were what they were, why Come To Us has been quiet. And then also I think Sean B released a really good video about it today, and Say Shizo had a couple good videos that he put out as well. The one thing I did actually want to amend about that though is that I think, Say Shizo had a really good point of that Summoners War ultimately didn't have like as he put it, it wasn't a reloaded update. It wasn't like a big update this year, right? But I think a couple things that I wanted to amend is that I think the devs very much see collaborations as big as, major. They're certainly not minor, like major updates. And at the same time, they had the 10th anniversary. But there was also a comment, and I've seen people say this online, which is like Soulstrike and Starseed have been getting more attention, and that's like stopped Summoners War from getting an update. And I just wanted to just kind of like make it clear that it's like that is absolutely not the case, because not only are those they're not even like different teams, they're actually different companies, because Come To Us is just the publisher for those games. So that's something to keep in mind for that sort of thing as well. I just wanted to kind of correct that, because I know that that's a misconception that's kind of out there, is that, oh, this game is getting updates, so that means Summoners War is not getting something. Not the case at all. It has no effect on Summoners War. Completely different companies. Okay, so let me just kind of go through here. Oh, I had to go through, so I missed the spamming. Oh, also, there's the survey, by the way, for YouTube chat. So I missed the spamming. Don't worry. And, Atharva is just on a timeout. He's not banned or anything like that. When he comes back, if he wants to talk, we can talk. It's all good. Okay. Back to the chat. Skibbity. Skibbity says, I could use help improving my dungeon times. Bro's got insane LDs. Bro's got some of my most wanted LDs. He's got a Sylvia right here. Oh my God. Skibbity. Holy heavens to Betsy. He's level 66. He's got some of my most wanted LDs. What the heck is this? And an Osima. What? When was this account made? A long time ago, actually. Long time ago. He's actually been, he made his account before I did. So you know what? I'll chill on that comment. Oh, Fastlix. So based on the wording of that, actually, I think they're adding a toggle in the future. So if you want it, you can have it. And if you don't want it, it doesn't have to. One Young New says, I think this comment kind of like encapsulates like a lot of the frustrations in the community right now, which is my personal opinion about the event is just freaking address it. This is from One Young New on Twitch. They drop a notice addressing the dang lightning. That was a slap to me. Oh, well, other than that, I didn't expect an LD5 at all. I just wish they'd stop hiding from the problems. Well, so One Young New, I can agree with that. I think if being more transparent is definitely something that would be helpful down the line, but at the same time, it's a difficult situation to kind of approach as well, I will admit. As much as I acknowledge that there's a lot of there's a lot of displease, I'm lacking on this word. I don't know what's going on, guys. There's a lot of displeasure, there's a lot of mixed emotions. I won't even say mixed, negativity, the community right now. Technically speaking, Come To Us didn't just speaking straight up, they didn't promise anything, they didn't underdeliver. It's like, this is just, I have a feeling that they probably look at the 10th year anniversary very holistically. You know, like if you look at it as all 10, right? Just look at all 10. This is like the best event period for like the best year of events like ever, like just straight up. So I think they're looking at it holistically. So it's difficult to kind of approach that. Also, this is just because I'm on the inside. I know that they're thinking about other things right now. They're thinking about like the future, but at the same time, they definitely are aware of we have been sending all of the feedback forward. I know that there's, you know, forget it. I'm saying too much. I don't want to accidentally say too much. Let's get back into it. Ultra Deathlord, good to see you. Marina, what's up? Evan is our man on the inside, our mole. Yeah, dude. Okay, so let me actually help Skibidi with the dungeon times real quick. I've been doing well. For the most part, I've been doing very well. Thank you. Marina's versatile. The rebranded versatile. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. Thank you for clarifying. So I liked the dungeon teams you were presenting, but I got a little distracted by the shiny LDs that you have here, right? Holy heavens. Like if you want to change up your dungeon teams, I think maybe you might want to start exploring the speed team for giants, actually. I think you might want to start exploring like the Teshar comp, like Teshar lead, use Konamiya. Use Praelia. I almost called her Kabila. I bet she hates that. I bet she's always called by her sister's name. Praelia on triple fight. Konamiya triple fight. Like, and explore that, Skibidi. I think that's probably what you should do next. I saw a question in chat too that Burb, hey, I just recently got back into Summoner's War, been loving it. Your videos are great help. Burb, what, dude, thank you. That's so nice. Thank you for that comment. I'm really glad that they're helpful. Yo, I'm still pretty new to the game. Any pointers to focus on? And that's from Legacy Reloaded on Twitch. Oh my goodness, yeah, actually. So probably the biggest one, right? And I know it's kind of obvious, but the Summoner's Way questline is like the best like source for early game rewards, valuable units as well. I would build a lot of the units they give you, specifically Fran the Light Fairy Queen, Crow the Dark Inugami, Tyrone the Water Sylph. I think those are probably the biggest priorities. I think they also give you, if I'm not mistaken, don't they give you Spectra too? Am I tripping? Don't forget the events down here. There are events down here that are really helpful too. Like, look at this. They give you you got the Point Shop event where you can work up to a legendary scroll and you can get runes down here. What is this one? I think this is the Fusion Support event. That's the one that I came down here looking for. I would get Veramos right away. Veramos is the Dark Ifrit. And then there is a Choose a 4-star event, by the way, in there. Lordro says, hey, question mark? What's going on? So yeah, I think you've probably been doing the right thing. El Dudens shared a replay. What is going on here? Hold on one second. So LD, this is so hard for me to pronounce. It's the LD only account for Dudano. Acroma Molly Veramos. They banned the Gatsu, and then Kiki as well. Oh, and getting good runes is the most important part of the game. As you get better runes, your runes will be faster. Come to Us also has a YouTube channel, so you can check there for beginners, guides, and dungeon teams. Thank you, Versatile. Or Marina Mouse, rather. Forrest says, Fran is good, but I've come to love Riley more. I think that Riley is like generally better. Generally speaking, it's better. I still recommend Fran over Riley though, purely because of approachability. Because Fran is literally just handed to you on a silver platter. I figure it's like, you know, that's something I try to keep in mind when I'm like writing a script for a video too, is like I'm demanding that people like build a lot of units, fuse a lot of units, you know, and eventually they'll get there and they'll get them all. But if I can try to mitigate the amount of time they're spending building these teams to some degree, might end up being better for them. The other thing that I like to caution people on is Riley in dungeons. Like Riley in Giants sounds great on paper, but we've all seen those posts on like Reddit where someone has her in. Where does she normally get featured? Is it Giants? It's normally in Giants, and it takes like half an hour. She's the last one left. You're in there for like half an hour to 40 minutes. You know, she really slows down a run. Wow, this is a very resilient team you have here, Dudano. Molly like legitimately decided just not to die and they just gave up, bro. That's hilarious. Absolutely. Not a problem, Marina. Not a problem. I got you. I got you. Marina it is. So, Dio, can you give me some advice? I have no clue what to do. Been trying PvP, but I'm losing every fight. Do I just keep farming? Good question. If you're losing, so I guess it depends. I should ask this, Dio. What are you running, by the way? Like, what's your preferred play style? Like, what's the archetype that you enjoy? Sometimes it will be Rune Gap. Occasionally, though, it'll be like picking monsters that don't necessarily work together. I'm a big believer in starting RTA as soon as humanly possible. I think getting in, losing games is valuable, right? Because you start to learn like the faults of your team, you learn what works with each other and what doesn't, and you can kind of intermingle the support monsters, which is the free-to-play rotation of monsters every season. You can integrate those with the monsters you've summoned along your way just in your Summoner's War journey, and like you'll have a cool team in there somewhere. Yuna, thank you. He looks chic. Thank you. I did. I got a haircut. See, like, feeling good. I'm feeling like cleaner, you know? It gets to the point where it starts to be a little hard to manage, which sounds silly because it was still short in the grand scheme of things. That was totally messed up that sentence. Not even gonna go back. Let's just keep moving. But like once it gets a little too hard to manage, that's when I end up doing it. When I start waking up with crazy hair, that's how I know it's time. A quick question, could you send to come to us so they make people's profiles able to be visible, then they share as an info of their monster. Make people's profiles able to be visible, they share info about the monster. Because it's not ironically, you know, Mel, I might be misunderstanding a little bit. Do you mean to say that like if this profile shows Rika here, I should be able to see Rika's runes? Or is that something else? Thank you, Yuna. Oh, you're at the dentist. Good luck at the dentist. I hope it goes well. I'm not a huge fan of going to the dentist, but I do go pretty frequently. For someone who's not a big fan, I go pretty often. Let's take let's jump in here and take a look at Dio's account, see if we can help. Say that they're losing in RTA quite a bit. Let's highlight a few monsters that maybe you could leverage. So right away, I see you have a Vanessa. Vanessa is a solid first pick in RTA because of this 33 speed lead. Also, the fact that her skills are so flexible means that she fits into a lot of different team comps. And that's great for a couple reasons. One is that your opponent's gonna have a hard time reading what you're trying to do if you just pick a Vanessa. It doesn't necessarily signal anything. It just means you're locking down a speed lead and you're getting some value out of her revive, maybe a little defense break and strip on skill 2. So I think Vanessa, you may wanna prioritize. You also have Oliver in here. I think Oliver is a great secondary speed lead. The only thing to keep in mind about him is that like, people are really like worried about Oliver, you know, like he might not make it through the draft or like, sometimes that's a good thing, right? May not make it through the draft and he does have slightly more counters than people give him credit for. Like, you know, and Tara's just eats this guy alive. So watch out. Riley is a super solid bruiser to pick. Not necessarily gonna suggest that you pick Tableau unless you have something like a team, like a strategy with it. Veramos is very much a counter pick. You could pick Gapsu. I think based on what you've got, you might want to go Bruiser. Like at your state of the game, I would probably go like Vanessa. Oh, you could actually do a revive. You could do a really annoying revive comp with Ayunu, Tyrannus, run Gapsu for heal too. Let me see what else you got back here. Out of these, I don't know if I would necessarily like go out of my way to say build them immediately. I think Savannah's really great. Zima is a solid strip option, like such a great AoE strip. But if you're doing that, you kind of want something to follow up, and I don't think you're crowd controlling. I don't think you're doing that right now. But if you did start to integrate more stuff like that, then I would do it. So again, I would first pick Vanessa. I would go like Vanessa. Then if you want like To be like aggressive / annoying, you could do this. And then go into like Riley for support, Gapsu as well, and just whittle them down. And then you last pick, you need some damage somewhere. I would probably pick a support monster for that, or use Savannah, okay? Or what you could do is if you wanted to go control, you could build Zima, you could go Zima, you could go Savannah. You could find a way, if it feels right, you could bring Rika with it too, and like Oliver. I think that's probably something. I'm not back on global, but I would be glad to jump back over to global. Let's do this. All right, global server. Mail says, let's say someone in chat shares a monster info of, let's say, Tiana, and you want to check their profile too, but you can't unless they speak. On the other hand, if they summon a monster in channel, you can. Oh, I see what you're saying. So you should be able to interact with their profile regardless. Now I see what you're saying. Thank you. That helps clarify a lot. You're welcome, Dio. Of course. Dude, that was amazing. Thanks. You're welcome. And right now, Dio, admittedly, it's like some of these options are a little bit limited, right? Because you don't have a ton of monsters, but gradually over time you'll start to accumulate more, and you're gonna see that your account kind of leans in a certain direction. It's like, oh, I have more bruiser options, right? Like, I think my account is really like more geared towards bruise or crowd control, but I'm a little bit scared to do crowd control. Like, I don't know, that's just not like my preferred play style. So I think you're definitely in the bruise category. I could see it going crowd control. I'm not seeing snipe, I'm not seeing cleave. That's kind of like the indicators that I'm looking for there. So over time you could, like, and if you go to RTA, right, and you go into the support category down here in the bottom left, which you're probably already aware of, I see this Layla would probably be a good support for your comp if you go with crowd control. Like you could do Rika and Layla, or you could do this for damage at the end, this chakra here. This is super solid damage if there's a lot of fire on the enemy team. What are the stats on this Miles? This Miles is actually not that bad. You could do Miles for damage too if it calls for it. So I would definitely make sure that you're using some of these. Okay. Sorry guys, chat channel 10. Chat channel 10 on the global server. While I wait for people to get in there, let me just go, let's just summon a few monsters. Let's summon like 6, I don't have a lot. I only have 16 scrolls. So we're not gonna anticipate a lot from this, okay? Let's do 10. I'm not a huge fan of RTA, but I highly recommend just using support monsters just to get free scrolls and transmog stones when first starting out. Totally, and that's kind of like in line with what I like to tell people. I tell people just play RTA. It kind of helps you get to know the game a little bit better. And if you don't know what a monster does, like, just look it up real quick. Like, that's actually how I kind of expedited learning about the game. Anytime that I saw a monster, and I didn't know what it did, I just looked it up. And then with that in mind, I tried to predict what people were trying to do, Like, that's just kind of how you gather up the knowledge. Because dude, it's hard to get into Summoner's War. There's so much information here, So, like, that's how I did it. I would love to hear how other people did it too. Like, how did you guys learn the monster names? Did you crash course it kind of like I did, or did you just slowly learn over time? Oh, you got back into the game after it came to Steam. That's awesome. Fastlix shared a replay. Let's just watch that really quick and then we will get into it. Oh, with the Van Cliff, dog. Now this is a crazy comp. There's some synergy here, my dude. Okay, so they got the full immunity here and a Juno. And the Juno. This is gonna be a tough win. I like the Juno to me is a really tough monster. Do you win this? Do you win from here? So Kronuk, you said you slowly learned 6 mil, dog. I'm still learning. Kanagi, Evan, Kanagi, what's going on? How are you? Kronuk, oh, maybe I didn't, oh, I did see that. Thank you, Kanagi, thank you for noticing. Dude, how do you beat the Juno? Oh, it's defense break, revive, right? So it's going to be a window of apply defense break, revive, and then hit hard with Van Cliff, I imagine. Hold on. I want to see it. I want to see it happen. Dude, this is such a crazy game. Oh, you're getting close. Oh, you didn't even have to apply a defense break. You're like, I'll just whittle down the Juno. Sean, I do not mean to ignore you. That's my bad, Sean W. Any tips for an RTA base? I want to get out of F2. Dude, I feel that. Dude, the fighter area of the game is so tough. Like, you really can feel like you're stuck. Let's do this. Honestly, as a person that works in a video game company and has went to events and stuff, I'm disheartened more that this year is over than the last event that was considered to be filler event, because most people that I've come to be friends with are leaving. Oh, dude. I'm sorry to hear that, Senior Penguin King. Do you mean like they're leaving Summoners War? Oh, Atharva. Wait, hold on. Let me look real quick. Atharva, not demanding lots of freebies from event. Getting another collab would suck right now. JJK collab units and from previous units are yet to be fixed. R5 sucks, and time locked event makes it worse. Atharva, my bad, dude. I didn't even notice that you came back. By the way, thank you for just for sending that. By the way, I appreciate it. Oh, and Leaf at the same time said, Evan, I hate to sound like a broken record, but what on earth has Come To Us doing? I feel like they're ignoring us and the player base is at an all-time low. Is Come To Us cooking something crazy, or am I coping, says Leaf? I loved it when Come To Us communicated on newbie events, and I really enjoyed Reddit community during these days. All I hope is Come To Us to communicate. Dude, I think that's probably like I think that is a big thing too. Come To Us communication. And that's part of the reason why I'm here, but at the same time, I understand that it's different, right? I can't communicate directly from the devs, right? It's like, that's not exactly what this is. I can insinuate, I can also make, I can draw logical conclusions based on what I know about them. Let me think about where to start with this. Where do I start? Maybe with Atharva, because Atharva was timed out for a second, but now he's back. Event disappointment on New Year's Eve is sad too. So I think the time gate is one of the parts that's really drawing a lot of, it's specifically weird time gating, right? Because the 10 LDs are kind of like on the 31st, and people predominantly like to summon on Christmas. I'm the same way. You want to summon on the holidays, right? When you're on vacation. And you don't want to wait for the end of the month. So I definitely agree that was like a weird choice. I did want to reiterate one more time that I at the same time I understand the disappointment, but a lot of it is expectations that were built up not by Come To Us. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not mad at Come To Us, says Senior Penguin King. I'm mad at Jug, if anything. That's hilarious. I love that. I did just want to reiterate, because I feel like it's kind of important to ground it in that conversation. It's like, ultimately Come To Us didn't promise anything for that 10th, and they still gave, the whole 10 were fantastic. I think if you look at them holistically, it's a fantastic year for Summoners War events. So I just think it's important to kind of remember that. There were expectations, but Come To Us wasn't the one to put it out. They didn't underdeliver. It's just something like that. Senior Penguin King, be mad for the right reasons, everyone, like me, says Senior Penguin King. That's so funny. I do think that, with that said, I think maybe the time gating is something interesting to look at. Mail says, I think I briefly addressed that as well. The expectations were built from how Come To Us treats their other games too, so it kind of felt a bit but yeah, so Mail, I wouldn't necessarily draw from other games. I would look at Summoners War, you know what I'm saying? So what I mean by that is, I mentioned it earlier, but the Soul Strike and Starseed comparison, it's like those are completely different companies. Come To Us just publishes those. And then the other thing was, the other one about that was Chronicles. Chronicles handles its events very differently from Summoners War. Atharva, I think, what I was saying is holistically, all 10. It's like you look at all 10, it's a great year of events. I really do think that Sean B covers it really well in his latest video. Let me look at Corvine's RTA real quick to help them get out of Fighter. I think that was their question real quick, and then we can come back to this too. Thank you so much, President. I really appreciate it. Leith, dude, the lightning. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, the lightning. So let me read the comment because it's on YouTube. To insult to injury, we complained about many things, including the lightning color change. Only they changed the lightning color, which means they did hear our complaints, but ignored them. Definitely sends the wrong message. I agree. No, I agree with you there. Mail, so here's the thing too. I don't know if Air of Light is a great example either. Just because like, you know, we don't need to get too into the weeds, but I think that Summoner's Board does something very different and like also has kind of like a better approach in a lot of situations than like, you know, Air of Light and etc. and its peers. Final 10 by Kanagi, I know everyone's been kind of disappointed with the final 10x10 event. So sorry that this is delaying the RTA thing, the RTA help, by the way, but I'm happy to talk about it as well. But if you look at the entire event as a whole, it's been, oh my god, been a really amazing event. We got two collabs, so many 10th anniversary scrolls, etc. You could have made different accounts to get an LT5 by getting the others. True. And 6 Mil Dog says, you're right, as a whole, the 10 events combined, that is what I think people are missing. Yeah, and I think that's also kind of how Come To Us was viewing them to an extent. You know, it's like, let's look at all, this is all 10. This is our, you know, and the 10 are great. They combine to an insane whole. We got to send more monsters out of storage because I forgot you can't check them. Gotcha. Okay, let me help real quick and then we can get back to talking about it. I'm super cool with still talking about it if you guys want to, but I just don't want to forget what I was doing on this account. I see you have PJ Parjanya here, you have Praha. We'll keep that in mind. I like to just kind of go through and highlight key monsters that I think might help us when coming up with like an RTA core. Got Juno, one of the best counter picks in the entire game, just bar none. Got Riley back there too. Any LDs to build around or anything back here? This is also very exciting. Oh, Irene. Irene got better too. Irene got buffed. Congratulations on the win, Spectre Princess. Dark Supremo, I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for asking. I'm doing, all things considered, I'm doing pretty well. Teor back here as well. So I think, let's go back to the front here. Wait, do you have a speed, did I find a speed lead in here? Are there any leads? Who's got a speed lead in here? Did I not see any speed leads? Oh, this is kind of cool. We should keep that in mind, actually. Lucia is a super sick monster for preventing attack bar reduction. Actually, picking her with the Robo would be crazy because then you deny them the ability to reduce the amount of attack bar you're decreasing. So that's actually super funny. Yeah, I actually don't see a speed lead in here besides like Chloe, Hiroyuki. I'm just gonna kind of like scroll through. I'm gonna go a little slower so that way folks in chat can kind of see it too. Yeah, I'm not seeing a speed lead, which is okay. You can still compete, but like you just got to keep that in mind. So I think you go turn two instead, and you can actually go for like a crowd control type of thing. So Praha is a really good support for when you're doing a crowd control strategy because she offers control on her third skill. She also offers strip for it. I think you could do Parjanya, get some provokes in there as well, so that way they have less control over who they're hitting on your team. You can bring Juno. When the situation calls for it as like a as a counter pick. And then something else. I love the Wind Robo. I think the Wind Robo is super annoying and would kind of complement the team well. You might, it's hard for me to say bring Lagmaron when we don't have like a lot of speed on this comp. Let me look in here real quick. Steel Houdini, well, I've got to go to work. Hope the rest of the stream goes well. Thank you. Oh, Atharva, that's a good suggestion. I like that. I honestly would have loved it if the newbie event / Hall of Heroes event came last and the last came somewhere in between. It's just a bad way of ending things. Oh, well, you know, okay, I can see that. I can see that. But I'm not, yeah, I liked your suggestion of the Hall of Heroes in the newbie event, though. If they change the order of the event, says Leith. Well, I think that might be like, you know, again, I think that's a lot of like an expectation sort of thing, is that the last one would be the biggest one. And I think that might slightly be a misunderstanding. It's like, I think Come to Us is actually right to front load it with the best ones. Because if you think about it from like an onboarding perspective too, it's like if a big anniversary is coming, 10th anniversary of a game, you want the first events to be the one that like current and new players are met with. So you want them to be insanely cool. And like Sean B pointed out, right? You know, it's like choose a Nat 5 event, and if you don't like it, you can change it. You know, it's like they had the choose a Nat 5, they had the Sky Fever booster event, you know, towards the end. So I think there's been good events like all around, but I do think it was the right call to front load it with that. That's kind of why I was kind of like, you know, with my response in that last one. Because I don't necessarily think it would be right to change the order. I don't think you should make people wait for the best ones. I think you should put them at the front. I think you should front load it with the best ones, so that way you have like new players come in, everybody's excited, and it's having Ace of Pops. What's going on, Ace of Pops? Sorry guys, let me just real quick. I realized that it's been a second since I posted the survey real quick. Ace of Pops is going to be on the Soul Strike stream. Welcome. And guys, by the way, Soul Strike, 2 p.m. Pacific time, if you guys wanted to come by. Valin-chan, their error was to tease the event all year with the banner. No, you know, but this choice of both Zenisek as the banner plus 12 months of waiting, big mistake, but overall it's a very good event. So personally speaking, dude, Zenisek is going to become like Voldemort. You know, it's like, he is the thing that I can't even like reference anymore. That one I disagree with, to be honest, the Zenisek as like the banner. I understand why people like the notion of what people are saying, but it was very clear that like those placeholder banners had nothing to do with it, because I mean we had a rune crafting event and we didn't have like the giant, the dragon, or the lich as like a placeholder banner. You know what I'm saying? But I do understand the notion of what you're saying, and taking into account that people could like read into it, it might have been good to avoid that. So I think the nature of what you're saying is like, you know, it's there, but I just disagree with the viewing it, like looking into it. Okay, so I think that's probably the base for Corvain. Again, crowd control base, like go with like Praha and Parjanya, but space those out so that you don't double pick elements. Sean's feeling ignored. So let me see, where's Sean? Sean, what can I help you with real quick? Because Sean's been waiting for a really long time and he's feeling ignored. Carnegie. Potato of Doom, I don't think my memory of, it says, I agree with front loading the events, but they should also end with something big to leave everyone with the best memory of it. Yeah, what's up, Pat? How are you? What's going on, Wycuz? I think there's definitely a little bit of recency bias with that assumption, Potato of Doom. It's like, you know, I wouldn't be able to like remember how good the events were unless the last one is good. And I don't think that that's entirely true. Like this year, like choosing a Nat 5, choosing an elemental Nat 5, like at the beginning, and then if I don't like it, I can change it. That's wild. That's unheard of. That's crazy. So I think it's one of those things where it's like, I don't think the whole is ruined by the last, but I understand that that is not the view of people. And it should be noted when I say stuff like that, when I'm like I statements, I am speaking as myself, not the company, guys. Just so you know, I'm speaking as a player there. Okay, let's talk about Sean. How can I help Sean? Evan ignores me. RTA comp for next season. Let's do this. Oh, all good, Draconic. Let me see if I can jump in it. Valiant-chan, the completed TOA hell question in the survey means 30 stars, 21 stars, or all 10 floors with no matter how many stats. I'm gonna say all 10 floors, no matter how many the stats. Oh, mailed. That's a good point too. Mailed, like that's there is also some drama out there for other games at the moment, for sure. Potato of Doom. I see what you mean. It says maybe didn't word it quite right. I mean, end it well instead of ending it with everyone disappointed. True. But I don't think they realized that everyone was going to be disappointed, to be honest. I don't think they quite realized that people weren't going to like the event, because otherwise they wouldn't put it out. You know what I'm saying? Potato of Doom. They wouldn't intentionally do this to people, especially when you see the quality of the quality of events of the whole 10th anniversary. So, you know, I think that's maybe something that people would benefit from hearing too, is that, you know, there was no malintent with releasing that event, right? They wouldn't release it if they thought it was going to offend people. Clearly, they thought people would enjoy it and like the content of it, and it was obviously a misread, right? You know. So anyway, let's keep moving along here. Let's help Sean, because Sean has been feeling ignored. I've been seeing actually some Amelia pop up in gameplay, and she has been proving quite good. What are you playing currently, Sean? Sorry guys, just waiting to see what Sean is playing. Something like that. Whoa, Carnegie, where was that? Where was that? They'd have some amazing events this year. This one just doesn't live up to the others. Oh well. Yeah, Potato of Doom. But, you know, there's cool stuff coming in the future, which is great. This isn't, you know, the end of all the events to come. I think it'll be good. Senior Penguin King, you're good, Evan. Expectations were different from players and the teams responsible for the event. Just a little miscommunication. Yeah, I think that's ultimately something. I really hope that that's something that can kind of be like looked at and like soaked in, is just like, you know, more communication equals more better. You know, that simple. Shirhaz says, Senpai! Evan, see, you ignored me. I caught you in 4K. Avery, what are you talking about? Have you been? I didn't even know you were here. Which I guess is probably your evidence, to be honest. I didn't even know you were here, Avery. What are you talking about? Stop gaslighting me. This is your first message. This is your first message, isn't it? Okay. Asher, Wind Robo, Water Twins, says Sean. That's what you've been playing. Water Twins, Wind Robo, and Asher? That's cool. So I love Asher. He's probably my favorite monster of recent memory. I think I've been using him a ton. I feel like maybe you should like actually kind of play around with other first picks other than Ramael and Judaya. I think maybe you should think about doing either more. You could do Chandra. I think Chandra is still so good, dude. I think you could go the Holy Trinity since you have it. Like play around with like Velajul as well. Wait, where's Vela? I swear I saw Vela. Yeah, there he is. I think you play around with like more or the Water Twins. Dip into like Velajul or Cigar, maybe even first pick Cigar, right? And then from there, you can figure out where you want to go. If the situation feels like you can crowd control people, can implement a Wind Robo into that. If it feels like maybe you're going to be more on the back foot, you could even throw in like a Wind Monkey, which is kind of crazy to say. Guys, a Wind Monkey is so much fun right now. Jingxie is so good. Evan, I just want you to see my new toy. Can you guess who it is from my profile? Is what I said before. I didn't see that, Avery. That's my bad, dude. Yo, Evan, I'm kind of tired of farming Giant's Abyss. Even though I have the other units to farm, Dragons, Necro, but my Rune's kind of meh. Any recommendations? And what I should do to get my account reviewed? Ferris, if you just put your account in chat channel 10, and then I can take a peek at it too. But dude, play around with. We can talk about Dragons and Necro. Actually, we haven't talked about Dragons all day today. I think we talked about Dragons maybe once. So just to sum up, I would change the first pick. I would play around with the Velajul and the Cigar, and because the reason why those units are so powerful is because you can pivot into stuff. That's something that like, you know, Thompson and Stoic and I were talking about a lot during SWC, is the power of the pivot. And the fact that you have so much flexibility from there. Those units are good in so many situations that you can kind of change your course of action in the 4th and 5th pick. So that way you can counter pick at the end, but you have a really solid core comp. So as Sean, as much as, you know, I want to say that, and then imagine you pick like, you could do Wind Monkey towards the end. You could do Fire Monkey if you need to make sure that you stay up instead of getting crowd controlled. Oh, you could even play around with Jongnam. You could go Wind Robo Jongnam. Dude, there's so much power in that. Okay. Draconic Rebel requested that I amend my look real quick just because Draconic didn't have a lot of units out at the time. Draconic, can you remind me what you needed help with? Pivot me, Daddy. Connie, you're hilarious. Okay, RTA core. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, you've got a Sonya back here too, and a Layla with the Angela. I'm not a huge fan of like raw picking Angela in every situation. I think that you need the enemy to not have a lot of strip, and also like, you know, you need them to have damage, not a lot of strip, not a lot of healing in order to really make her potential like shine. Oh my God, dude, Alice. Yo, sometimes a clutch Alice can just like she will soak up a ban in the pick ban phase, dude, because it's like this unit can just fundamentally make it so you are receiving no damage. Yeah, like this unit's crazy. So I would maybe consider this. You have a very strong like defense-oriented comp here. So if you go this route, just be a little careful, right? But you could do like Solvark, Aaliyah, perfect support for defense monster. Parjanya, right? This is a lot of water, so just, you know, bear that in mind. You have a Feng Yan. Feng Yan would go insane here. Could do Angela too, so that way people are getting reflected on their damage. You could go. This is a very defense-oriented comp, and then Alice, like dimensional team. So dimensional team for real. Any good replacements for Liam and Dragon Speed? Beetlejuice, there's like some, right? You know, Kyle, obviously, but usually Kyle is used in tandem with Liam in certain situations. So I find that if you're looking for that leader skill, you can actually use Water Geralt to a certain extent, the Water Magic Order Guardian. I forget his non-collab name, but he has the huge attack lead for water units. And then he also has max HP damage scaling, plus an AoE that reduces attack bar and applies defense break. So you can use him, but you can't expect it to be as fast as Liam. There's no, to my knowledge, and chat, I would love to hear your opinion too. Like you could do, I don't think there's anybody as fast as Liam, but you could try that or something instead. Yeah, so you could really get like a defense-based team in there too, Draconic. You have a lot of synergy there. Let me scroll back up because I missed a lot of people. Thank you so much, by the way, Pizza Hot Sauce. Hope everyone is having a great day. Thank you. You too. I need runes with some people. Omni-Sun Goku, could you tell me if you have any particular units you want me to look at? It might like point me in the right direction. Like any particular ones? Dark Sun, what monster should I work on next? Let's go take a peek. Okay, so you're kind of struggling through Giants. I think you could kind of make a good change here just by removing the Riley and instead putting in another max HP damage dealer. Or Crow. It could be Crow, to be honest. Could be Crow. And that reads to me like maybe the Veramos is not on damage, actually. That seems like maybe he's not a damage Veramos. And that's okay in the beginning, but like eventually, oh, he is. Oh, he is. Maybe the record was just set with something where it's not. We might want to get that crit rate up a little bit. This is not bad, dude. This is not bad progress, actually. Yeah, dude, I think if you just remove the Riley, you're actually going to have a better time. Because you could even use Lynn. You could totally use Lynn there or Crow. I would do either. Change Riley to the Naomi. Oh, wait, I just realized I didn't answer what unit to build next. Yeah, you could change Riley over to Naomi, the Wind Marshal Cat. Or you could use Crow or Lynn, just from what I'm seeing in your box right now. As far as what unit to build next, I would hold off for now on these monsters. Like unless you don't have like Aster built and you happen to have Aster, the Fire Magic Knight, in which case I would probably build that next. Because she's amazing for Necro. I didn't see one in here, but maybe I went too fast past it. Oh, wait. What about the Water Cannon Girl? Are you already building the Water Cannon Girl? There she is. Build that for Necro. Build that for Necro for sure. Oh my goodness, guys, it is very hot in here. Holy heavens. Whew. It's very warm today. I am like struggling right now. Okay, Avery. Avery said, what is the new one? Is it the Kraka? Is it the Kraka or no? Your new LD. Dude, there's so many LDs here. Which one is this one? Okay, Avery, I give up. Which one is it? It's the Kraka. Oh, let's go. That's awesome. That's awesome, dude. Okay. Whoa, Yuldong? Kanagi. Who's? Yo, I didn't know. Wait, dude, Yuldong is kind of crazy. Okay, hold on. Increases critical damage by 100% when an ally attacks the enemy and decreases the damage taken by 10% for every beneficial effect granted on the ally when an ally is attacked by the enemy. This effect doesn't stack with other critical damage increase and damage reduction effects. Dude, this guy's passive is crazy. Also, the wording on it is a little bit funky. I don't know, would you run? Chat, this is a genuine question. I don't have Yuldong, obviously, right? Would you also run Yuldong himself on damage so that way he can contribute? I feel like maybe, but maybe I'm mistaken. What do you think? Or do you just rune him on HP since this scales with HP? It does stack with Fami lead. Whoa, that's kind of cool. That's awesome, Male Sack. You'd rune him on HP, Omni King Goku? Oh wait, this is yours. Try a hybrid build for sure, says Jug. If you're running him on dungeons, then yes, you should put him on damage. Okay, yeah. See, that's a really good one. Okay, let me jump back in here. Help with Arena. Oops, I tapped on the wrong one. I tapped on TOA hard. Arena. Whoa, you have some fun monsters to play with. Oh, guys, I just realized that we're a little bit shorter on time than I expected. Huh. I like the prevent death from the event, or prevent death should be in air quotes, right? I like the cut in from Abellio. Chat, would you hit this defense? I think I might. Actually. Yeah, with a Leo team. Then what defense? It's Kanagi. I think that maybe we should skew slightly from the defense. Specifically because defense is so easy to counter. I thought you were saying that you beat it so fast you didn't even see it. I think we should skew away from the defense and maybe go more into HP. Something like that, especially considering like defense is so easy to ignore in Arena. You know what I mean? I think perhaps we should go into something like perhaps the tried and true Carnal lead? Perhaps, if I could be so bold. Carnal could even go Camilla Abellio if we're so inclined, and then Kinky. I liked the Kinky was not the part that I had the problem with. I'm decent with the Kinky. Am I decent with the Kinky? I think the Kinky's okay, especially if you like stack a ton of HP on this guy, and he's got 100% res. Yeah, dude, you could run the Kinky in here. You could go like Carnal, Kinky, Abellio, and either Camilla or +1, something like that. He has a Pontos. Yeah, he has a Pontos as well. Wait, yeah, abuse the hell out of Pontos, says Kanagi. You could totally do that. Flynn also says Camilla Omdua, Vanessa Triton, Camilla Omdua. I think the Pontos is a good suggestion too. Invincibility. Maybe make that the last unit. Make that the last one. So when I said +1, add 1 in. Okay, guys, lightning round real quick, because I just realized we're getting to the end of the stream. Soul Strike is at 2 p.m. today, by the way. 2 p.m. Soul Strike stream. Ace of Pops is going to be joining me. I wish someone would hit my defense. You wish someone would hit your defense. Okay. Buff Celia, says Lester Green. That's hilarious. Jug's got people out there. Help on RTA comp to start trying RTA. This is Mapsy. Bro's got Dark Gojo and Evan back there. Oh my god. Love that. Well, you got a Dark Gojo, so maybe we should try to leverage that. Maybe, like, how much do we want to force? Oh, wow. Got an Asher, too. Okay, wait a minute. Let's think. Let's talk for a second here. What do we want to do? Do we want to do something where we go like more Wind Robo, Ren, and like Gojo? Or am I tripping? Is that like bad? So more built on damage, right? Like attack more. So more Wind Robo, Ren, Gojo. Wait, did I already say more? Ren. I feel like that's actually pretty, I feel like that could be pretty sick if I'm not mistaken. I feel like that could be kind of hype. Still, you have a problem with no, there's 2 strippers. There's at least 2 strip on that team. There's more Wind Robo are both strip, and then you Ren to double down on the debuffs afterwards. Dark Gojo, and then who was the last, what did I say? I'm already blanking on the last one I said. Suppose you could do Oliver for a speed lead. Moore's got a speed lead too, but you could do that. Like that Rage Moore from Guardians Club? Oh my god, dude, the Rage Moore would be insane. I'm just more meaning like high attack more. I like Despair. I think Despair goes really well with that because then all of a sudden you can get incidental stuns from people, right? So I think that Despair more is still like so good. I would explore Despair. You could think about Violent. You could think about Rage if you're wanting to. Something like that sounds so sick. Okay. Mapsy, I hope that helps. I looked at that. We help with the Dimension Raids team. So Dimension Raids team is kind of a complicated thing to kind of get into, right? You need the crux of the thing is that you need something to ignore damage reduction effects. So that means anything that ignores buffs. So we're talking about Chao's skill 2, like Justice, right? Justice ignores it. The first skill of the snipers ignores it. Sukuna, I believe, ignores it too. I think Sukuna's cleave, right, guys? I think. Guys, tell me I'm wrong. Hold on. No, it's not cleave. It's the first one. Attacks the enemy. The damage increases according. It ignores all damage reduction effect. So it's dismantle. Dismantle ignores it. I think that's probably one too. It's not as reliable because he's going to default to using skill 2, but I think those are good places to look. You want to look for opportunities to ignore damage reduction effect and then get into it. Chat, I'm so sorry, but we did just make it to the end of the stream. I've got to go real quick, but then I'll be back for Soul Strike at 2 p.m. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. I had a great time. Thank you for coming always and like having a great like discussion together, participating in the account reviews. You guys are the best. I will see y'all later, okay?